Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is the month of May, and in 2 weeks' time we'll be running the biggest race of the year, the Indianapolis 250, but today it's the prelude to the Indy 250, I guess you can say. We used to always call that with the Freedom 50. We're not doing that this year, but we are bringing back this race, the Indianapolis Road Course event. This is the Grand Prix of Indianapolis, the 9th race of the season here in the Haas IndyCar series. First time we have been here since, I do believe, 2018. However, this is theoretically a new track because this is the newer version of the Indy Road Course, where we completely skip the oval turn 1 and go into the infield there, and also have that little chicane down the backstretch, even though on this NR2003 version of the track, it's not a chicane. It is a true, well, I mean, it is a chicane, but it's not a quick chicane like it is in real life. It is a true hard left and hard right. But beyond the fact, still a great course here. Excited to see how it all goes down. And excited to have a co-commentator once again. Andrew Miller alongside me for the call of this one. He called the Texas race. We didn't have any pit stops in that race, but we will in this one. And we have seen on the road courses the pit stops really come into effect. At Lime Rock Park a couple weeks ago, Zachary Fitzwater lost that race because of a poor pit stop. And then strategy came into effect at Riverside when Trey Smith won. How do you think the strategy will play out in this race here at the Indianapolis Road Course?
Well, you're going to have the benefit of if you have short pit, then you'll get the undercut a little bit, but then that might hurt you in the long run. So it's going to be a debate of if guys want to pit sooner and then try and gain some track position coming off of pit road, or if they want to try to stretch it a little bit so that you can try to make up that time at the end. So it's going to be a matter of who can play with their tires the best, and just who's going to pick the right call. Track position is going to be important here at any road course. So I'm sure the guys starting at the front should be looking in good shape. We'll see what happens.
It should be an interesting race as well, though. In testing, turn number 1, it's a pretty good spot to make a pass, actually. And we saw it happen quite a bit in testing. Of course, testing's not official, but I do anticipate this being a better race than past Indy Road Course events that we have had on the channel. And we should actually be able to go through a cycle of pit stops without these drivers smashing into the wall. That's another issue that we used to have on the old Indy Road Course. But hey, excited to see how this one goes. In the point standing, Zachary Fitzwater took the points lead last time out of that win at Kansas. He has 3 wins on the season, 26 career wins on the channel now. All-time winningest driver. He's got 226 points on the season. 26 ahead of Trey Smith, who starts on the outside pole here today. And then you also have Nathan Faden starting in the 5th position. He's 28 points behind. Landis Smith Jr. is 39 points behind. Ace Garcia 47 points behind coming into the 9th race of the season. And we'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off here. It'll be a 21-lap race around this 2.43-mile road course. And we will have a cycle of pit stops probably around lap 13, lap 14 in this race. So we'll have to see how that affects who gets the race victory. But Elijah Gordon, his only top 10 of the season, came at Richmond, and he won that race. We'll have to see if he gets his 2nd win of the season from 21st in points. He's alongside the guy who's 2nd in points, Trey Smith, in the number 41. Row number 2, we'll see Caleb Rose starting alongside the 95 of Cole Raymond. And then Nathan Faden, who won at Circuit of the Americas, will be starting alongside Reggie Fogelman in row number 3. Row number 4 sees Nicholas Sambadia, the 2-time Indy 250 champion. He'd love to get one on the road course here at Indy, alongside the Lime Rock winner of Angel Olvera. Then you have Zachary Fitzwater there, the points leader here in the Haas IndyCar Series, to the inside of Chris Reynolds. You see the rest of the starting lineup there on the side of your screen. Should be a fun race here today at the Indianapolis Road Course. The first of 2 races that we're going to have on this racetrack this season. So we'll have to see how this plays as a preview to the race we'll have here in August. But Andrew, you said the track position is going to be very key here at Indianapolis. Who do you think is going to get the race victory here in this Grand Prix of Indianapolis?
I'm looking at Trey Smith there, being 2nd in points, showing a lot of speed, obviously. Be 2nd in points there. And yeah, with that track position advantage, having qualified in 2nd place, I think that he's going to be tough to beat. But you still got Fitzwater starting in the top 10. And I mean, Fitzy is Fitzy, so he can pull off anything.
He definitely can. He pulled off last week at Kansas, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, at the Kansas Speedway. Well, let's see if he gets his first road course win of the season, however. All of his wins have come on the ovals. Well, hey, we're ready to get this one started. It's the month of May, and we're at Indianapolis, and we're green flag racing in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis here on the Indy Road Course. And the advantage will go to Elijah Gordon, the 42. I believe someone spun. A bit of a stack up there. In turn 2, Jay Knapp around, Kinghart, Ethan Lewis, and Landon Smith Jr. Of course, we're on the road course. No cautions on the road courses here in the Haas IndyCar Series, or any series for that matter. Elijah Gordon, though, with the advantage on the start. And you saw that advantage that he got on Trey Smith. It looked like Trey Smith almost had something there on him. But there's no grip on that outside lane in turn number 2. And we saw that in that number 41 machine. Caleb Rose, though, able to get second there as Elijah Gordon going to try to pull away from this field and get a second win of the season. Cole Raymond, Nathan Faden. You got a battle here between Reggie Fogelman, Nicholas Samadillo, and Zachary Fitzwater. They're all on each other here for the 6th position.
We're going side by side through some of these chicanes. That is going to be risky business. So expect them to get pretty close wheel to wheel, but they're going to settle it down for the time being. Single file, but yep, like you said, coming up to turn 1 here, that's going to be the
single file.
prime point.
Trey Smith trying to take second back here from Caleb Rose. He should have the advantage here. That inside lane is where you want to be in turn number 1. Going to be a little tight right there, but he's going to get the advantage right there. So it's just no grip out there. And Cole Raymond may also take a position here from Caleb Rose, who comes into this race last in points here in the Haas IndyCar Series. It's been a tough season for Caleb Rose so far, but he's going to hold on, or will he? Cole Raymond trying to get to the inside, but Caleb Rose able to hold on to that 3rd position right there. So Elijah Gordon out to a 1.5 second lead on the field there. Trey Smith trying to close up on that 42 machine for this top position.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking of the single file there. They're actually getting awfully racy here for early in the going. Not afraid of these chicanes, but yeah, turn 2. If you're on the outside there's just nothing there. You got to turn so hard into the corner, you're going to lose a lot of momentum, and that's what we saw there. It's some more wheel action here.
Angel Oliveira and Zachary Fitzwater, these two did battle at Lime Rock, but the pit stop failure out of Fitzwater gave Oliveira that win. Oliveira wants the advantage here on the 66, and he is not letting that 66 have it easy, but Fitzwater will stay ahead in the 8th position. Meanwhile, Samadillo's on Nathan Faden. That is for the 6th position, and the 31 machine is going to take that position away from the 00 before they even get to turn number 1. But Faden's going to try to take it back. And he may have a nose into the inside, but it doesn't look like it's going to gain any advantage there. So settling down throughout the field now. Elijah Gordon, 1.5 seconds on Trey Smith. That 41 looks pretty fast. He pulled away significantly there from Caleb Rose. And you got Cole Raymond, Reggie Fogelman now up to 5th. As Faden fell back a couple of positions right there as a battle between him and Samadillo there for the 6th position.
Samadillo looking... he's been on here for a long time, so you know that he's looking for a little bit of pride here. Just kind of halfway in the points there, showing 10th in the point standing, so maybe trying to get a little bit of redemption out of that, and trying to look for a good run here at Indy.
Of course, he's still very much in the championship hunt, and knowing how good he does on the oval here at Indianapolis, I would not be surprised if he was top 5 in points at the end of the month. Very possible that could happen. Elijah Gordon seems to have a pretty good advantage, but Caleb Rose closing back in on Trey Smith here. We'll see if this 55 makes a move back to the inside for second. He's going to try to do so, and he may be able to get back on the driver who's second in points. He's going to have the advantage there through turn 2, and he's going to take it right away. So Caleb Rose back up to second here on the Indy Road Course on lap 4. We're going to see a lot of that in this race here today. That dive bomb in the turn number 1 and that outside lane through turn 2. See Scott Upton, they are losing all the ground up there on that outside lane. And it looks like a lot of the guys, well, a couple of them, we saw that incident play out earlier on. They're actually coming down the pit lane. They were on the lead lap. Jay Knapp and Ethan Lewis. So they're going to have to come back down again. They're not going to be able to make it to the end of the race on that tank of gas right there. They were involved in that little stack up on the first lap of the race. We'll have to see how that affects them, but everyone else has essentially rejoined the pack and kind of all in line. Now for Landon Smith Jr., he lost a lot of positions, same with Kinghart and maybe even Logan Williams there, but they're kind of back and racing with this pack now and making some moves back in the field. We've got a lot of great racing going on here at the Indianapolis Road Course, and look at Kinghart here. Move to the inside of Zidell. We did not used to see that on the old F1 course that we used to run a few years ago, but this is a great course here, the Indianapolis Road Course now, and very well put together course. We've got a couple more guys coming down the pit lane, Scott Upton and Richard Kinghart, so interesting, those guys probably coming in to repair damage. We got Olvera making a move here on Fitzwater. That is for the 8th position, and Fitzwater's going to be able to clear the 25 before they enter turn number 2, but Olvera's going to have a run to the inside through turn number 3.
I don't think Fitzwater was quite ready for him there. I saw him start to turn in and then abruptly go back the other way there, probably thinking, man, I didn't think that he was still going to be there. But my goodness, Fitzwater is able to get back on the gas so well there. He's been doing a great job of fending off these guys. It's like I said, Fitzwater knows how to get it done, obviously, in his NR career.
One guy's doing a great job here today. Nicholas Samedeo is already up to 5th now. He made a move on the 24 Reggie Fogelman, and the 95 and the 55 are not too far behind. And you know what? Trey Smith got back around Caleb Rose, and we missed it. They keep on doing battle for second. That's great news for Elijah Gordon, who continues to dominate this race here at the Indy Road Course, but battle is on for second between all these guys, and I think if the strategy plays out right, Sam Medeo could be in position to win this race. That number 31 is wicked fast out there on this race course. Rose going to try again.
And I was surprised there that he was trying it that far back. But, I mean, yeah, Caleb Rose, last in points. Why not? He got literally nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, might as well just go nuts and see what happens.
He's got a good opportunity at rebounding this month here at Indianapolis. Of course, like I said, last in points. Coming into this race, 155 behind our points leader, Zachary Fitzwater. Then again, Zachary Fitzwater's been having a Chase Harris type of season. 3 wins in 8 races. That's a lot what Chase Harris did in 2020 when he won 5 races in the 16-race season that we had. That was the last full season that we had in the Haas IndyCar Series. Of course, Chase Harris not in this year, but Fitzwater, long-time NR veteran. I mean, if you got an NR offline series, Zachary Fitzwater's in it, and he's won more races than anybody on this channel. Turner held that for a short bit of time. Of course, Turner won the Walla Walla Pro Series Championship last week, so I'm sure he's happy about that. But now his focus is on this Indy 250. He'd love to add that to his resume. But right now, running in the 15th position there, Jesse Turner, first ever winner on the channel. Zach Winkle, this team's going to have a new owner here coming into the oval race in 2 weeks. But so they may end up having some new paint schemes. But Winkle and Brock Nelson will still be driving on this team. And you got the 28 there, Winkle moving to the inside of Ace Garcia, just ahead of these guys. And you also have Brian Rodriguez on his teammate Angel Oliveira. And Rodriguez is going to move up into the 9th position, ahead of the 25.
Golly, I'm impressed, but oh, goodness. Almost took his wing off there. Ooh, boy.
Side by side, down the backstretch between those two guys. We'll get back up front here, and Elijah Gordon now has a 4-second lead on the field. But Cole Raymond may get a position here on Caleb Rose. You got Nicholas Samedeo here closing in. And you got to think, too, the tire wear is definitely coming into effect at this point. Samedeo, though, I think he may try to get it in this chicane right here. Oh, boy, this is going to be a close one for the 31, but he might have this advantage, and he will. Samedeo going to take it away from Cole Raymond. And now you got Caleb Rose back again on Trey Smith. They just can't decide who's going to be in second, and because of that, Elijah Gordon continues to pull away now 5.3 seconds. Gordon has not had to worry about anything in this race, because all these guys continue the battle for second. And you know what? I think eventually this guy's going to be second. Samedeo might even get a position here on Trey Smith. Heading into turn number 3, it looks like the 31's going to get side by side with the 41 right there, and Samedeo going to try to take it away. Ooh, it's going to be close, though. Good battle here for third.
Smith's going to power off the corner there, try to hold on to that spot there. But yeah, with how much they're racing, Gordon has checked out. These guys are going to have to try something drastic in order to catch him, either on the pit strategy or just trying something really different with.
Oh, and around!
The tires in the second stint. Oh my goodness!
Trey Smith spun it on his own. We saw this in qualifying a couple of times yesterday, right through that corner. And I don't think that's been the first time that's happened today either. We got some tire marks there. Brandon Nelson may have done it in the 22. He's kind of deep in the field right there. But as the tires wear out, it gets harder to move through that corner. And now Trey Smith going to fall back. He's under fire from Brian Rodriguez as he is battling for the 8th position. But Rodriguez going to take it away. Winkle is there. I think Olvera got back around Rodriguez as well, so that is going to be back into the 10th position, especially after Zach Winkle gets around him here. That'll be for the 10th position right there, and Trey Smith's going to fall to 11th because of that spin. And now you got Cole Raymond making a move back on Nicholas Samadillo here. Samadillo's going to try to power on the outside, though. I think the 31 is faster. Cole Raymond did have a run to the inside there. I think Samadillo had to check up this slightly because of Trey Smith spinning in front of him there, and that slowed him down just enough where Cole Raymond could get back around, or at least attempt to get back around. You gotta watch out for the leader to possibly do that, too. It's right off that tight left-hand corner down the backstretch. Guys have to be careful through that little chicane.
I was just saying, with how quickly they have to switch back there to keep as much momentum as possible. You see how hard they have to turn it there, and that is really going to upset the rear end. We see it again. I think with the tires wearing down too.
Eric Monaco, and these guys, they're going to want these fresh Firestones here soon. As a matter of fact, Caleb, or never mind. Still not used to this track quite yet. It looks like the pit lane there for a second. So I'd watch out for Elijah Gordon. You know, these guys are really struggling, and that Trey Smith was second. I think he was second at the time when he spun there through those corners. So Elijah Gordon has to be careful. I mean, Gordon, I think, has lost races, you know, off of mistakes on the last lap. Watkins Glen is a great place where that tends to happen quite a bit. They overshoot that final corner there. Caleb Rose has pulled away from Samadillo. I think the tires are going away on the 31 now. Now you got Faden here on Fogelman. And then Fitzwater has found himself in 7th after Trey Smith fell back. Olvera, Rodriguez, and Zach Winkle in the top 10. But definitely want to watch out for the 42. It tends to happen, I think, when these guys are going side by side, though. You get someone to kind of get to the inside of you there. That outside lane car tends to have some issues. Fitzwater may have a shot here on Faden. Fitzwater may move up into the 6th position. You know what? With Trey Smith spinning out there and Fitzwater surpassing him, Fitzwater's probably going to extend his points lead heading into the Indy 250.
I think that's why Trey Smith is especially going to be kicking himself for that mistake, knowing that he fell behind Fitzwater when he was several positions ahead there. Any bit that he could have chipped away at Fitzwater's lead may have just been dashed there with that mistake.
Cole Raymond there right behind the gearbox of Samadillo, and Caleb Rose has taken over a second out of Elijah Gordon's lead that last lap. Wondering if Caleb Rose, you know, because of all that battling he did with Trey Smith, I'm wondering if he was actually kind of just letting Trey Smith buy him all that time and saving his tires for later on in this run. Because he definitely pulled up to that 42. Got 10 laps, 11 laps to go. It'll be 10 laps to go next time by, so next time by we will officially be halfway through this race. But this corner right here just may be a corner that determines who gets the race victory, because it's just how well you can get through this corner. You have to really tiptoe through it at this point of the race, and some guys can tiptoe much faster than others. But definitely very unique racing. I think Trey Smith has lost a couple more positions. Ace Garcia got around him. He's now down in 12th. And you got a battle here, Troxel and Brock Nelson there, and you got Zidell, Chris Reynolds, Noah Clifton, Brandon Nelson, Logan Williams, Landon Smith Jr., Eric Monaco, and then these guys have already come down the pit lane. Scott Upton, Jay Knapp, Ethan Lewis, and then Richard Kingard, who is currently in the last position. So NS Racing is first and last right now here at the Indy Road Course.
I'm also noticing through that chicane where guys have been spinning, some guys are also taking a lot more curbing than some others. Some guys are avoiding it altogether. Either that or they're tackling it head on, getting almost all 4 tires onto there. So I don't know if maybe that's a sign of guys trying to get more turn out of it, and then some guys just not wanting to risk it. Just a matter of who's being more aggressive and who's not. But Gordon has definitely used up his tires.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure these lap times are definitely have fallen off quite a bit since the top of this race. But it'll definitely get interesting if we have some guys come in before Elijah Gordon on the cycle, which if you're Elijah Gordon, I'd come in now. You're past halfway. There aren't any cautions. You don't have to worry about a caution coming out on a road course because it's a road course. We don't have the cautions come out. But Gordon's going to stay out there. See if anyone else decides to come down right here. I think about a 13 to 14 lap fuel run here, so I don't think they're quite coming down yet. We'll have to see if anyone else back in here decides to come down. They are not. Everyone's still staying out. If I was Trey Smith, I'd come down now, but we're not playing with that strategy quite yet. But I would imagine next time they'll probably be coming down. Nicholas Samania's closed up to the gearbox of Caleb Rose here. And Caleb Rose actually took a bit of time off from Elijah Gordon's lead as well, so these guys are still all in contention, even though they're 4 seconds back. You know, if they play the strategy right, if something happens to Elijah Gordon, they're going to be all in the catbird seat to win this race.
And especially if they're able to get in even just a lap sooner than Gordon comes in. I think that's what they have to do, but again, that's that game of you don't want to pit too early and then you're going to have your stuff used up for the end, so that's the game that you have to play at this point.
Oh, Samadio's got it. He almost had it. Caleb Rose had a better run off the corner there, and Samadio actually had to check up. He tried to get a run on Caleb Rose. It's going to open the door for Raymond to get back to the inside of the 31. Don't count out Cole Raymond. He's never won before on the channel. Good opportunity for him here today. Good opportunity for all these guys to come down the pit lane. Elijah Gordon leading him down. Samadio's down. Fogelman, Faden, Fitzwater. Doesn't seem to be any strategy in this race. Everyone's coming down the pit lane here on lap 13. Now the question is, what about those guys who came on lap 4? They're not going to be able to make it to the end of the race, but will they be able to lead a lap? They are led by the 0-2 of Scott Upton. And as a matter of fact, Jay Knapp and Ethan Lewis just came back down again, but it's going to be a busy pit lane. Followed with Elijah Gordon. I imagine going to be 4 tires for everyone. Of course, the one thing about this game that I'm, with an IndyCar mod, it's only 2 tires there for Elijah Gordon. I think a lot of these guys, we'll have to see if anyone goes 4. Oh, we got contact back in there on the pit lane between Landon Smith Jr. and Ace Garcia, and then there's contact between Garcia and Zidell. That got a little interesting back in there.
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this.
And more contact between Chris Reynolds, and then Olvera and Zach Winkle got into each other off the exit of the corner. And Turner got spun off by Troxel, and Turner's going to really lose from that one. That's a tough one right there for the 38 machine. I think they figured it all out, but that was interesting. Samadio is down in 4th. Caleb Rose there in 2nd. There's 2 tires for all these guys. And I was just about to say, one thing I'm not a big fan of with an IndyCar mod in this game is that they can take 2 tires. It's not a realistic choice in real-life IndyCar. That is what we're dealing with here today, however. But Elijah Gordon, they're all on the same strategy. Only unless Gordon makes a mistake at some point on the racetrack, I think this is Gordon's race to lose.
I don't know if it's just my brain playing tricks with me or what, but it looks like that gap is at least a little smaller between him and 2nd place. We'll see here at the stripe.
It definitely is 2.73. I think Gordon had a lot of time to work with, though, coming down that pit lane there. Cole Raymond, a try on Caleb Rose, not going to do it right there. Samadio in 4th. Fitzwater going to move up to the 5th position, and then Reggie Fogelman in 6th. Rodriguez to the inside of Faden. Rodriguez will take 7th, and Faden will fall to 8th. Then it's Thomas Troxel up to 9th, and Angel Oliveira fell back to 10th. And you got Winkle, Zidell, Trey Smith down in 13th now. Brock Nelson. At the moment, Kinghart is there in 15th, but he does have to make another stop. Turner fell back to 16th. Brandon Nelson, Logan Williams, Eric Monaco, Noah Clifton, and Chris Reynolds may be out of the race after the contact he had on the pit lane with Ace Garcia. Landon Smith Jr. may have also gotten caught up there in that incident on pit lane. Said there weren't going to be any issues on the pit lane here today. I was wrong about that, but that seemed to be a little more natural than it used to be, at least. Cole Raymond here on the 55 of Caleb Rose. He's going to try to make the pass right here through the final couple of corners, and he is going to do it.
That's about the cleanest way you could have done it right there.
We'll have to see if Cole Raymond can close in on Elijah Gordon for this race lead. I think he lost about a second there that lap, however. Fitzwater, he's going to have a shot here on Fogelman. Fogelman actually got around him right there. A lot of on-track passes here at Indianapolis here down the road course. 13 of Rodriguez to the inside of Faden. Again, they're battling still for this 7th position. Faden was able to hold on to it earlier on, but I think the 13 is going to get the advantage right here, and he will.
Impressed by Faden to be able to hold it as well as he did on the outside lane there. Didn't lose as much there, even the second time around with them going through that complex of corners. But credit to Faden for trying to hang in there for a bit, but eventually did have to yield.
I think we might see Cole Riemann close in quite a bit here on this lap because I don't think Gordon went through that chicane very well. He hit the curbs pretty significantly in that 42 machine. It's far from over. It's definitely far from over. We've seen these races. I mean, I remember Portland in 2020. Marty Johnson was a dominant guy on that race. Well, he had an issue, an engine problem midway through the race, and Nicholas Samadillo stole the win away. Well, Samadillo, he may actually be in the catbird seat once this is all said and done. He's going to have a shot here on Caleb Rose. The lead closed in just a little bit right there, 3.5 seconds now. So Gordon has all this time. He has all this ability to kind of just ride it out as Samadillo makes a move to the inside of Caleb Rose for third, and he's going to take that podium position away. A great outing by Samadillo here today on the Indy Road Course. No doubt about it. He's been strong along with all these guys, but for Samadillo, he's 10th in points. Going to gain a pretty considerable advantage on a lot of the guys ahead of him. As a matter of fact, nobody ahead of him in the point standings is ahead of him on the racetrack. So that's good news there for Nicholas Samadillo, who is in position to gain 35 points here today on the Indy Road Course.
Yeah, if he can just keep it going as he is. I mean, 73 points back as it stands coming into this race. That chunk is going to definitely get smaller. And Samadillo, being the veteran that he is, we'll definitely be looking at him to possibly continue to just chip away there a little bit. He's again, it's Fitzwater here trying to run down. It's going to be a tall task.
And Samadillo and Fitzwater have been racing each other pretty much the entire length of this channel, so they know each other well. They know how to battle. 4.5 seconds now as, man, speaking of Fitzwater, trying to get back around Fogelman for the 5th position. And up here in the top 5, each position is worth quite a few points, but Fitzwater not gonna go for the move there. That's interesting. He backed out of it. He could have easily taken it away and decided not to. Meanwhile, Chris Reynolds has come off the racetrack here after he was on the pit lane for a couple of laps. He's 2 laps down now. And that's his teammate, Caleb Rose, that he's almost getting into right there. But Elijah Gordon, I mean, he hasn't had to deal with anything all day. Everything has been happening behind him. Second place has changed hands multiple times, but first place has not. This entire race, Elijah Gordon has been up front since the drop of the green flag. And this 42 machine, of course, Elijah Gordon's another guy with a lot of experience. A 2-time Cup champion. Of course, he's won a couple times in the IndyCar Series. You know he's fast. I think the big question is who's going to be second once all this is said and done, because Samadillo is coming here on Cole Riemann, and that 31 may have an advantage right here. He's got a nose to the inside off the final corner, and he may beat him to the line. He's got it.
All this racing for second place has been a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, like you were saying, that has just allowed Gordon to just sit back, relax, and hang on to that lead as though he's just on a Sunday drive here. And that gap still kind of remaining fairly consistent.
6 seconds. That's the largest gap so far of the race with 3 laps to go. So it's going to take Elijah Gordon spinning out. And that is possible, as we saw with Trey Smith earlier on in this race. Right there through that chicane. That is a dangerous place to be here. Especially as these tires are running. You got to think, too, it's been a while since they've changed the left sides on these machines, so that could definitely come into effect as well. Samadillo and all these guys get through it all right. Cole Riemann might get a nose back to the inside of the 31 here. This battle for second is far from over.
You know that Samadillo wants to hold on to it, though, because that's even more points. But, oh, goodness, look at that dive. My goodness.
Cole Riemann's going to get it here. And Caleb Rose is back in the mix for the second place as well. And Rose may get the 31 as well, as Sammy is going to lose 2 positions right there through that exchange of corners. And they closed in again on Gordon, but with only 2 laps to go, I just do not see it happening naturally. It's going to take a mistake out of Gordon for anything to happen. Fogelman has put a considerable gap between him and Fitzwater as Samadillo falls to 4th now in the 31 machine. Rodriguez is there in 7th. Then you got Faden, Troxel, and Zidell in the top 10. Trey Smith up to 11th, and Brock Nelson. Angel Oliveira's fallen to 13th. Zach Winkle, Jesse Turner, Logan Williams, Brandon Nelson. Whoa, boy! Turner was ready to make a move on Winkle, who was making a move on Oliveira, and Turner's going to get the advantage out of that one. Sure, we had a lot of passes back into that corner that we did not see here today. Elijah Gordon, though, looking pretty solid at this point. Gonna see the white flag next time by here at the Indianapolis Road Course here in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis.
Just got to keep it clean. Got a considerable gap. Don't risk it there through those chicanes. They are slippery. So just keep it clean here. White flag in the air.
Looking for his second win of the season. Elijah Gordon has one lap to do it. It's not over yet for second place, however. Cole Raymond under fire from Caleb Rose. Rose is going to try. He's not close enough to make a move. Regardless, this is going to be Caleb Rose's best finish of the season. He's yet to finish top 10 this season. Here he is running second, or actually running third. It'll be far and away the best finish he has had all year long here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Meanwhile, Elijah Gordon, we're going to watch him through this final corner. We've only seen it happen a couple times so far to a couple other guys. Gordon's going to get through it all right, so that's pretty much it right there. Elijah Gordon's probably going to get this race victory. And all these guys generally staying about the same distance away from each other there, so I think it's safe to say that Elijah Gordon had the best car of the day, no doubt about it. Not only that, he actually didn't have the fastest lap. He had the third fastest lap. Caleb Rose had the fastest lap in this race. But off of the final corner, Elijah Gordon is going to get his second win of the season. Off of the final corner, Elijah Gordon wins the Grand Prix of Indianapolis here on the Indy Road Course. Cole Raymond's going to finish second. Caleb Rose, Nicholas Samedillo, Reggie Fogelman, the top five. Fitzwater, Brian Rodriguez is going to finish here in the 7th position. It's going to be Faden, Troxel, and Zidell, the top 10.
Yeah, give some credit there to the 24. He actually ran down that panel for second place there toward the end.
He did.
So he showed some late speed.
But the most speed was shown out of Elijah Gordon here today with the second win of the season. And that 42 machine, that's a great win heading into the Indy 250. That's the next race now. We have no more races in between. This is the second race in a row I've hit that by accident. We don't have any more races in between this race and the Indy 250 2 weeks from now. We do have qualifying for the Indy 250 next weekend, however. So that will be interesting. But we'll have to see how well all these guys do when we head on the oval. We're already here in Indianapolis, but when we hit the oval coming up in just a few days. Elijah Gordon wins the Grand Prix of Indianapolis here. Definitely an interesting and unique event. Battle was for second, and Cole Raymond got second place. I think that's almost like a race victory there. Those guys battled hard for that second position. And in the end, it was Cole Raymond who got it. We had 4 different guys who were second at one point in this race. Cole Raymond kind of was the dark horse that whole time. Ended up getting that position. Caleb Rose in third. Nicholas Samedillo, Reggie Fogelman, Zachary Fitzwater is going to hold on to his points lead. Rodriguez, Faden, Troxel, and Zidell, the top 10. You see the rest of the results right there. The only driver to not finish on the lead lap was Chris Reynolds. So even with that spin that we had on the first lap there, they jammed it up going into turn number 1. These guys kept it together pretty well, and it was a relatively clean race, I think, for Indy Road Course standards. We did have the pit road incidents, but regardless, that was a fun race. But Andrew, I know the big race is coming up in 2 weeks, and that's what all these guys are thinking about. How do you think that Indy 250 is going to go in 2 weeks' time?
Oh boy, well, it's the Indy 250, so that's going to be a really long one. And it's just with how fast these guys go, that's going to be almost kind of a draft super speedway kind of style. So anyone who's able to manage the draft the best is going to definitely have the advantage. So anyone's going to be able to do it. I'm excited for that one for sure. Got to give credit to Elijah Gordon being only, if I'm not mistaken, the second multi-time winner of the season thus far, alongside Fitzwater.
Yeah, you are correct about that. Fitzwater was the only other one to win multiple races for the season, while now Elijah Gordon has joined them as multiple-time winners this year. But Fitzwater's still going to gain a lot in the points there. Samedillo is really going to be the only major guy closing in on him in the points standing. Only top 10 guy closing in on him in the points, at least in this race. So who knows? This championship could be between Fitzwater and Samedillo, 2 of the all-time winningest drivers on the channel. And then you got Turner in the series as well. But Turner just hasn't found his stride in the IndyCar yet. He found his stride in the Walwell Pro Series, won the championship over there, but not quite here yet. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, next weekend is when Indy 250 week officially begins. A little bit stripped down from from how it normally is this year. No Freedom 50. I just don't have the time or the energy to do it. But we will have a practice session next Friday, and then we'll do single car qualifying on Saturday. Then the Fast 9, Last 9 shootouts on Sunday. And the weekend after on that Friday, it's the Carb Day practice, and then the race itself 2 weekends from now at noon Eastern Time. We should have a lot of fun with the Indy 250 this year. And we got 10 other guys who will be joining this field. And let me see if I can pull them up. We got some new ones, but we also have some guys who have been in multiple Indy 250s as well. So a very solid field. We got Joey Hightower, Max Anderson, John Andrews, Igor Barreto, guys who have been in this Indy 250 before who are going to be in Indy 250 only rides. Brendan Wilmington, Will Parrish, a couple of guys who they've been in a lot of races, but I don't think that either of them have been in the Indy 250 before. And then some newcomers, Gary Corelli, Keith Kent, Colin Cropley, and Roy Ribbleton, kind of joining alongside with Cole Raymond, Brian Rodriguez, Reggie Fogelman as first-timers in this Indy 250 altogether. It should be a fun weekend next weekend and the weekend after that. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of Andrew Miller, we'll try to do better the next time. Congratulations to Elijah Gordon for getting the race victory here at the Indy Road Course. And here are the points for the Haas IndyCar Series after 9 races. I will see you guys later.